Welcome to Fearless and Focused. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Casey.
And we're here to share bold stories, real talk,
and strategies to help you push past fear and level up.
Let's get fearless and focused.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Belize edition of Fearless and Focused. Take two. Casey, why is it take two?
Well, here's the situation. We always have good intentions, right? Of like setting up the perfect scene, capturing great content live and in the moment, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. And so we're take two, recreating, channeling all of our Belize beach vibes. Tell us about some of the setup we had going on behind the scenes.
Oh my gosh.
Our props, all the stuff.
Right. We're new at this, right? So we thought we'll just come to Casey's room. We'll sit outside. We'll be in one frame. And then we're like, nope, actually, that's not going to work. So when we actually show this, so I was like, okay, I have my laptop. I'll go back to my room. I'll sit on my balcony. And I get there, I get all set up. And when I say set up, it was like a bowl, like a Tupperware bowl, then my laptop on that, and then another Tupperware and a book so that my phone could be perfectly positioned. And I do all that to learn that, well, number one, my laptop is dead and my phone has like 10% life on it. And I was like, okay, we're going to talk fast. And then we just had so many technical issues. We're like, oh gosh, we didn't get to so we're like, we got to redo it. But that's okay. Take two, bigger and better, right?
Take two. And now I think that it'll even be a little bit more impactful because we've experienced the whole week. When we were trying to, record, we had just been one day in. So now we have the whole week to dump on everyone and our listeners. And we have this cute Belize background. Hopefully you guys will be able to see the palm tree on the top and the beach on the bottom. So yeah, we just want to just dive in and share our experience and thank all of the people and our tribe that made it happen and just kind of like just talk through the whole week.
Yeah, I mean, it truly was an amazing experience, an amazing week. Emotional, this is an emotional journey for me. So, I cried several times but it was so beautiful. I think we should start with let's just talk about all the donations and all the people that, stepped up to really help. I know you have some numbers for that. Did you want to share those and then we can kind of go from there?
Yeah. I have my numbers. I like my numbers.
You like your spreadsheets.
The cool thing is at first, I was just envisioning we're all gonna go and, deliver this powerful experience. I wasn't even thinking that it would turn into oh my gosh, these ladies totally step up and they hauled, giveaways and swag and coloring books and full business in a box, trying to get that through customs. Not only did they bring themselves, they really stepped up and delivered, and we were able to raise over $1,250 for the food drive, which shout out to Becky Bunnell and her So Gel Nail Tribe. This was so amazing. So I didn't realize this, but they had fundraised all week. And so $400 of that $1,200 was from her and all of her nail fundraising for just the food drive. So we were able to get groceries with that, deliver that out into the village. And then we had close to $6,000 of products, supplies, all of the stuff that was brought over so we could get them out to the ladies that showed up for the conference and also to the kids on the island and families on the island. So it was just I'm just still overwhelmed of just the graciousness from you and all of the ladies that came along and really just stepped up to deliver a really powerful experience.
No, I mean, and most of the ladies brought, including myself, an entire suitcase extra full of donations. Full. So BB, Becky, you are amazing. That is so awesome. The fundraising that you did for that. But and Sophie, she brought an entire, the earrings I have on right now. They went to one of the ladies who attended the conference and she started making jewelry before we even left, so I was able to, like, purchase these from her, and she had her first purchases from us, like,
Mhm.
it was just truly amazing. We had friends that stepped up, I had friends that helped me pack. Ashley and Kelly helped me pack all of the bags, pack all of the balls, the candy, the games, all the things for the kids and for the women. We had donors that, contributed a very large amount. All of the women were able to walk away with something, right?
Mhm.
So they had, we had laptops. Tina Moore had donated 2 laptops. And then 4 of our guy friends, Justin Slocum, Mark Mercer, Matt Black, Mike Daniels, they all contributed money that turned into a scholarship for these women. And the other 6 women were able to get scholarships, that they could use for their business, to help them with supplies they need or to get that business started, like move it out of their home or the things that they needed to like get that going. It was just truly amazing the people that stepped up and
Mhm.
gave for a cause, for us to take over there and just, make these women's lives, just brighten their day and just make their year basically. So it, you know, it was amazing. So just huge thank you to all the people that donated and helped and sent supplies. We love you so much and thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like I made a list, so I want to just name drop everybody because I just want to make sure that their names are publicly announced because they just went, not only stepping out of their business, which all of our listeners know, like that's a big deal. Like you have to prep to be able to leave the business and then you come back and you got to play catch up all week to
Right.
like get caught back up. So, Becky Bunnell, Sophia Nill, Tina Moore, Melissa Penzato, Brooke Brolo, of course, Sammy Doak, Danielle Lamont, Ann Jordan, Michelle. Oh, Michelle. I'm just going to say Michelle from Miami because her name is so hard and I always like mess it up. So, Michelle from Miami, you know who you are. Thank you, girl. Those were all the ladies that really helped make this possible. So, I wanted to show them some gratitude and just thank them just so much.
I know, and it was really great because we all got to know we all knew of each other. Well, I didn't know Sophie or, Becky at all, and then just learned to, like, love them, and then, like, Becky, but I'm like, "Oh, you're a BB too," so, like, we're BB squared, we're BB, we just kept calling each other that, and they were just so fun, and, we just loved that we got to be around each other, get to know each other, give together, and just form new friendships, so thank you, girls, y'all are amazing. And there are many of them that spoke at the conference that
Mhm.
just blew me away. Like Anne, her story of, like, amazing resilience, and, like,
Mhm.
she went through unspeakable tragedy and, just had amazing resilience and just, came back and she's, like, reimagining her life a different way. And, so a lot of these women that live, on the island go through horrible hardships, or they're single moms or, maybe they're in a domestic dispute, situation with their spouses and, they don't have it as easy, there's a lot we take for granted here. And so she was able to deliver some really relatable information like, you know what, we might be worlds apart, but we all go through different types of hardships. And like, here's how, being resilient and how you can overcome it and something good can come out of it because you're going to learn something from it and move forward and be stronger for it. And I just thought hers was like super impactful.
Yeah, that was so good. I love Sophia's of like she's a financial planner, so she tied in her title was Know Your Worth. So I love that she added in that financial piece to actually knowing your worth of who you are as a person and that's tied into confidence and to really just own that. So I love that. I know that Becky's whole movement of this I am. I was out
Mhm.
getting the food supplies and deliver or grabbing the stuff from the resort to make sure that we could take it to the village. But I know that she delivered a powerful performance on that. And then can we talk about our new friends? Like this is so crazy. I have to talk about this. Here, like Wyoming has, I think there's maybe like 500,000 people in the entire state, okay, of Wyoming. So who would have thought we're in Belize, we're getting ready to go to the women's conference. There's these two new girls that are going to be joining us, right? Like I don't know who they are. They don't know who we are. They just happen to connect and come to the conference and be part of it. come to find out, they are both from Wyoming. I'm like, how can two other people from Wyoming show up in Belize to the same conference and be a part of this? Like, I'm still blown away by that.
I know. I'm like, do y'all have like a secret tribe of like Wyoming people? Like, where did these people come from? It was insane, but they were amazing, and neither one of them had ever spoken before, right? Or I know Danae had not, and I was like, what? You've never spoken in front of a group of women? I mean, she was just so polished in it, but more than that, what she delivered, like, I was, like, taking massive I have, like, my notebook right here of just all the notes because it was a learning experience for me too. We were there to deliver business tips and education and ways for these women to cope and give them real life action and tools that they could take back, but I was writing just as much as they were. One of the things that she said that really, really got me, many of, my friends know, and something I'm not shy about is I struggle with anxiety. Like, people don't think that about me because they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so outgoing, you're so fun." I'm like, "Oh, I will be hidden in a corner. You just have no idea, like hyperventilating." And my son deals with it. My youngest son, Jax, deals with it. And, we have just been trying to help him, in therapy. And she was talking about, with women, when you're in a stressful situation, here's something that you can do that will help you overcome that anxiety. And she said, you have five senses. We all know we have five senses, but to work on these five senses, you can't think of anything other if you're focusing on your five senses, which makes complete sense when you think about it. But she said, look at when you're having a moment of panic, look at five things like you can see. Look around at five things that you can see, and then four things that you can hear, three things that you can feel or touch, two things that you can smell, and one that you can taste. If you're doing all of that, you can't focus on anything else, and so the anxiety goes away.
Mhm.
And let me tell you, it works because at the time, that happened, I was like, "Okay, I can't wait to try that." Now, oh, well, of course, I came back and I was fully stressed because, I have all the emails and the notifications and all the appointments stacking up, and I'm like, I'm having a moment, let me try the five senses." And it was immediate, like, "Oh my gosh." So I thought that was so huge. And, like, she's just our new friend, and I just loved her so much. I thought that was invaluable information.
Oh, yeah,
And the
yeah, just those 5 tips, and I love the how she said that this is what will get you grounded, like, if you could just follow this, like, you will feel grounded right
Mhm,
after that. So yeah, I think that you nailed it, that yes, we went to, like, pour into these women that showed up at the conference, but, like, the amount that was, like, just shown back as far as, like, the speakers and the valuable tips that they were offering, and it's like, it was, like, so much of an experience for us too.
absolutely. Absolutely, and Rochelle, she's one of your other Wyoming ladies that, that was friends with Danae. They role played on situations, like, it was just really, really good information. And I tried to share tips on social media, right?
Mhm.
Because these women, they're on this island, but, like, so many people come to visit this island. You
Mhm.
should be all over social media and you can do that for free. So I tried to give them every free tip, that they could go out there and promote their business and just give them some really good actionable steps because if no one knows your business exists, they can't support you, right? But one of the things, I want to talk about is, how they all came in the room the first day and no one sat together. No one sat together. And I'm like, it's a small island. It's 22 square miles. So it's like, you know each other. Like, why? But, like, they don't have the collaboration that we have, but
Mhm.
they're wanting to start that, right? But they would sit on different rows away from at opposite ends. But by the second day, after all the interactive, activities that we did together, and with each other, they were talking, they were sharing tips, and we were like, I mean, because a lot of them had what? There was a chef,
Mhm.
um, we had nail, massage, um what else?
Bakers.
Bakers, piñata makers. I'm like,
Yes.
all of these things tie in. Like, it's amazing. Like, somebody could come for vacation or for a wedding or a bachelorette trip and think how many things they could tie in together. This person caters, this person does the dessert, this person does the nails, this person does the massage. Like, and you could see the wheels, like, oh, yeah, like we could collaborate on this, right? And you refer me and I refer you. And, by the end of the conference, it was like we were one big family. It was, and they were one big family. And that's what they need to, do there. What we were doing, for them, like you could do this yourselves right here with you, with everybody on the island. And so it was just a really amazing experience.
Yes, I love that piece, and then, this was my favorite part last year, and it was this year as well, is that they at the end of the conference, all of the attendees, like, got up by themselves, solo, did kind of like a solo, like, presentation about their big picture vision for their business, so what they're offering, what some of their milestones are, what their action steps are gonna be, their goals and all of that, and I just, like, you can tell that they're not used to doing that because they were very
I
nervous.
was more nervous for them. I was
Oh
like, "Oh my
gosh.
gosh, I'm so nervous for
Yes,
you."
they were so nervous to do it. They were shy, but they all got up there and done it.
Oh,
One presenter, it was her first presentation she had ever done, and in English. Like, she was
right.
primarily Spanish speaking, and she did the whole thing in English, and it's just, like, that is so rewarding to be able to just watch them, like, work on this for 2 days and then actually be able to stand up to all of us, business women and present that. It's just, like, that it's, like, invaluable.
Well, I know, and, like, when we were like, "Okay, who wants to go first?" I mean, like, you could tell, like, the look of terror on her face,
Mhm.
and she ended up going last. It was Carolina, the
Yep.
piñata maker. I mean, when I say piñata, I don't think your store-bought piñata. I'm like, "This is insane." Like, you could give her a picture of anything, and she could make it. Like, she's amazing. But she turned I mean, and she was hilarious. Like, that girl's personality, I mean, we were dying. She was funny, and just real and just transparent, and she's, so young and just has so much ahead of her, like, I can't wait to I followed everyone on the social media platforms. I can't wait to, like, see how they progress, but it was truly an amazing experience for sure.
Yeah,
But
it
and
so was.
yeah, but, then, day 2, we wrapped up, said our goodbyes, had cake, all of that, and
Mhm.
then we went out into the village. You kinda wanna talk about, our giving there?
Yeah, yeah, and just to kinda, like, recap our week, so we get there, we all arrived on a Monday. Tuesday, we had, like, just an activity for ourselves as women to just really get to know each other and build relationships and pour into ourselves and each other before we went and served, and so then we did the conference for 2 days, and then, yeah, at the end of the conference, after we all wrapped up, we did this, service project, and I don't even know if I can, like, put it all into words yet, I'm still processing, but we had got all of our supplies that we took over and all of the donations and bought the food, and then we kinda caravanned out into the village to deliver this, and I think that, like, at least we all went on golf carts, so we were sitting on golf carts, like, my eyes were, like, as big and all of us, like, I was looking at everybody, like, we were all just our eyes were huge on just how different the living conditions are than what we're used to, but also how very simple everything was and how fulfilled they were with their lives because it was very simple and not
Yes.
complicated and anything they were just grateful for anything.
They were so grateful, and they were all single mothers with very young children. The
Mhm.
first the first home that we went to, and she was amazing. And, like, she invited us they all invited us into their home, and they were so proud, and they were so thankful and so grateful, and their little kids, their faces, I mean, I just was like, "Can I take you home with me?" Like, there was a set of 2 twins, and they were, like, what, maybe a couple months old? That I was like, "Oh my," I was just holding this little baby boy, and he had a twin brother. They were so cute, and then we were able to, like, hand some Legos off, to the little I think he was maybe, like, 4, and you would have thought he was so excited. It was truly just beautiful, to be able to, like, share and give and then get to know them. What our second house was 11, was that her name? 11? And it
Yeah.
means love, and she had a probably 5-year-old daughter. That girl was full of, like, fire and sass, and I mean, she was like, just, "Can I ride on the golf cart?"
Definition of fearless, like, I feel like she
Yes.
had that at 5 years old already.
Yes, and she was, again, like you said, they live so simple, and and they're proud of what they have and they work hard, and they're single moms,
Mhm.
and they were just grateful. And I was just so glad that we could go and we could talk to them and get to know them and be invited into their home and get to know them a little bit better and just give them, we gave them groceries, we gave them fruits, meat, games for the kids, non-perishable items and things like that. And it was it was it was a lot of tears shed when we left too, because, we're driving out, of the village, and you just see, I mean, there's just so much, it's just so different. I don't even know how to explain it. And you wish, you feel like you didn't do much, you're so glad that you did, but you just look around and you're like, "Oh my god, there's just so much more we could do or could have done, and how can we make this better next year? How can we reach more people?" And I think all of us, felt that, and, like, just tears, no one spoke, like, none of us talked on the way out, it was just tears and just in our own heads. I'm gonna get emotional about it again. But I was so glad to, like, be a part of it and experience it and know that, like, definitely wanna come back, definitely wanna learned a lot,
Mhm.
that, I know that, okay, this is how I would do it differently next time. Here's how we can reach more people next
Mhm.
time, and then add more people, and we hope that, people who wanna, our friends and family or whoever that, may hear this, that feels they wanna come and be a part of it, like, that's gonna be on the agenda next year, like, we're going back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely, and I just think, like, just wrapped up, like, it was almost like everything wrapped up into 1 week. It was, like, collaboration with all of us ladies that went there as business owners to share ideas and pour into each other and build, relationships because, some of the women, just like you, not knowing Becky and Sophia yet, and so there was, like, that piece, but then there was also strategy pieces of being like business women and sharing our tools and skills that we've learned over all these years and pouring that in at the women's conference. And then there's like this whole service piece of really giving back and getting literally into the village on golf carts and just our eyes just open on like there's so many different ways that humans live in this world and just trying to absorb that. And like I said, I still don't have words to be able to wrap around that yet. And then just like, okay, now outside of here, how do we keep that going and keep giving back and pouring into these ladies so we really can keep like making a difference even outside of leaving, and what does that look like?
right. And that's everything happens for a reason, right? I feel like everything is, like, in alignment, like, even with, like, this podcast, this is a way we can get their voice out there, right? And, and someone may be hearing this and say, like, "Great, yes, reach out to us. If you put something together next year, I wanna go. If you can't go and you wanna donate, great." Like, we want to, and we're keeping in touch with all of these women through social media, and we'll find out, what they need, and when we come back and see them next year. So, I'm just so very I feel very grateful. I feel very fortunate and blessed that I was able to walk away from my business. So I'm grateful for my entire team and my husband, and my kids are like doing life without me for, over a week. And then me still playing catch up. But it's just, it makes you really grateful for what you have and the things that you take for granted. So it really, really humbled me and, made me see things in a different light. And, I want to continue to, lean into that as much as possible and just do what I can. So
Yeah, yeah, and didn't you love that piece too? Because the 2 other, Wyoming ladies that came, like, they brought their families because they
yes.
wanted their kids to be able to experience this and be able to be like, service work be part of their life. So they had brought their kids, and of course, my husband went, so shout out to Bill for, like, dealing with 11 ladies all week long.
He was our
Thank God he's
security, our muscle.
Yes, and thank God
He
he's,
was
like,
awesome.
super laid back and easygoing. But that was the whole thing is like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, like, could I bring my grandkids?" Like, I want them to grow up around the whole idea of, like, pouring into others and giving back and being so fortunate for the things that we have, and so that's a whole other piece that I love that about the Wyoming ladies that they brought their
Yes.
families to be able to for them to be built with a solid foundation of like giving and serving.
I know, I absolutely loved it, and I told my husband, I was like, you have to come. You have to come, and the boys have to come next year because I want them to see it," because it's that fine line as a parent, like, you wanna give your children more than you had, but then it's
Mhm.
like, "Wait, did I overdo it?" Because now I feel like they're spoiled brats at times, right? And I want them to be able to see, like, no, like, not everyone has the opportunity that you have, and you have no idea, like, how hard we work, but how hard they work in a different country, and, and just have very little, but so grateful, right? And they're more grateful about just things around them than their being in doing gaming and all of this, just things that, when they could be building relationships and friendships and doing something with their hands and something to really give them growth. But I loved that piece so much. Yeah. Shout out to them bringing that whole family.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. It's a super shout out for them and just instilling that in their kids, while they're younger. So let's talk about like we always love, asking our guests their definition of fearless. So I think that we should talk about so there was one of the attendees, her name was Ileana, and she was during the second day, she was kind of like expressing how she's got this daughter and she's really struggling with like being bullied in school and she's like really quiet and I just like that was just like pulling on my mama heartstrings and I was just like gosh what can we do like I just want her daughter to feel fearless and just remember who she is and be confident and all of that and so I Brooke and I both like I just have the lightning bolt and Brooke does too of our fearless necklace. So what we decided to do was we took the fearless part off of the necklace and we left that with Ileana, the mom, and her daughter. Um, and Brooke kind of share the message that you told her daughter when we were like giving that to them and leaving that with them.
Yeah, and, we wanted them each to have, a necklace, so we took them off of our necks, and gave them these fearless necklaces, and I just felt like I needed to give a message to the daughter, and I just pulled her to the side and I said, "Can I just talk to you for just one more minute?" And she's like, "Sure." Very quiet, very timid, and I said, "I understand that are being bullied to some people being mean to you at school," and she nodded, and I was like, I was badly bullied in school when I was in 7th grade, and I remember dreading going to school and begging my mom, "Please don't make me go to school," and these 8th grade girls were so mean to me, like, literally, felt like I was fearing for my life every day that I was gonna get my butt kicked, and she was like, "I'm in 7th grade." And I was like, "You are?" And I was like, "Let me tell you." I was like, "This is a blip. This is nothing. You hold your head high and you don't worry about what they are saying to you." I was like, "None of that matters." I was like, "You just be true to yourself and you just hold yourself, and you just go on." I was like, "They will move on to someone else, sadly." But I'm like, and I was like, "This won't matter." And I was
Mhm.
like, "This is not defining you. It is not who you are." I was like, You feel scared, you touch that necklace and you remember who you are." And she just gave me the biggest hug, and it was a really good connection, and, like, when I said I was in 7th grade and it happened to me, she looked at me like, "What? That happened to you? You?"
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, yeah, it happens, and you're not alone." And so, and you can talk and I was like, "Your mom has our information. If you need anything, reach out to us." So, it was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
One that was definitely unexpected.
Oh, yeah, unexpected, and I just let me just share I'll just kinda, like, summarize the message because, I feel like this was really powerful, so we did that, that night, and then the next day, Ileana sent me a message, and she said,
Mm.
"Last night we went to the park because there was Earth Hour, and they had a dance competition, and my daughter was brave enough to get up and give it a try." So, I was like, "Oh my gosh," like, that's part of, like, an impact that like, we gave her the necklaces and you gave her a little pep talk. And then already by the next day, she was brave enough to get up and give the dance competition a try, which you
I
could tell
didn't
she was
even know
just
that.
like,
That's so
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, she sent me that message after the next day. So, yeah, shout out to Ileana and her daughter and keep being brave and keep being fearless and who you are and just owning that. And that was like so impactful and meaningful for me.
Thanks for tuning in to Fearless and Focused. Remember, success is not about being perfect. It's about showing up, staying bold, and taking action.
If you love this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could use a little inspiration.
Keep chasing your dreams, staying fearless, and keeping your focus strong.
Until the next time, stay
Fearless and focused.